In 1903, a quiet English factory worker turned writer published a small book that would change the self improvement world forever. It was only 20 pages. It sold a few copies at first, and then over the next century, it would influence nearly every major success book ever written. Napoleon Hill, Dale Carnegie, Tony Robbins, and countless others have cited it as a foundational text. The author was a man named James Allen. The book was called As a Man Thinketh. Allen wrote it from a tiny cottage in Ilfracombe, England, after walking away from his career to live a life of meditation, simple food, and daily writing. He would wake up, climb a nearby hill at sunrise, and meditate for an hour. Then he would come home and write for the rest of the day. From that life, he wrote 19 books before dying at the age of 47. But As a Man Thinketh is the one people still read today. And the central idea is so powerful that once you understand it, you can never see your life the same way. The idea is this: you become what you think about most. In the next 15 minutes, I'm going to walk you through every major teaching in this tiny but earth shaking book. Let's begin. Chapter 1: The Garden of the Mind. James Allen's most famous metaphor is the garden of the mind. He said every human being is both the gardener and the garden. Your mind is a plot of soil, and every thought you allow to take root is a seed. Some seeds produce beautiful flowers, some produce weeds that choke everything around them. Most people never think of their thoughts this way. They believe thoughts come and go randomly. They believe some thoughts are just noise. Allen disagreed strongly. He said every single thought you entertain gets planted, and over time, every planted thought produces a harvest whether you wanted it or not. A thought of envy, planted, watered, and revisited, grows into bitterness. A thought of love, planted and tended, grows into kindness and peace. A thought of fear, held again and again, grows into paralysis. A thought of hope, protected and nurtured, grows into courage. Alan said, if you want to know what you have been thinking about for the past 10 years, simply look at your life. Your circumstances are the harvest. Your outer world is the exact mirror of your inner world. This is not poetry. Alan meant it literally. He said the gardener who tends his garden well can eat well year round. The gardener who lets the weeds take over can produce nothing of value. Your life is the same. Most people let weeds take over and then wonder why they are suffering. Alan's prescription is simple but demanding. Become the conscious gardener. Notice every thought. Decide which ones you will plant and which ones you will pull. Not once, every single day. He said, as the gardener tends his plot, the mastermind tends his thoughts. You cannot control every thought that enters your mind, but you can absolutely control which ones you water and which ones you let die. Chapter 2: Thought and Circumstance. This is where Allen's book becomes almost uncomfortable. He said something most people refuse to accept. He said, your circumstances are not an accident. They are the exact outer expression of your inner thoughts. Most people blame their circumstances. They say, if only I had better parents. If only I was born in a better country. If only the economy was different. If only people treated me fairly. Allen agreed that external events matter. But he said the inner life is always bigger than the outer life. He said, man is buffeted by circumstances only so long as he believes himself to be the creature of outside conditions. When he realizes that he is the molder of his own character and the maker of his own life, he commands the situation. This doesn't mean terrible things don't happen to good people. Alan was not naive. What he said was more subtle. He said your circumstances are a reflection of your dominant beliefs and habits of thought. If you persistently think in terms of lack, you will find yourself in situations of lack. If you persistently think in terms of blame, life will serve you up people and events that confirm your blame. If you persistently think of yourself as powerless, opportunities will slip past you without you even noticing. But if you change the inner world, even slowly, even gradually, the outer world will begin to rearrange. Not instantly, not dramatically, but inevitably. Alan gives a powerful image. He said, circumstances are like water. Finding its level, try to lift your circumstances up by force and they will fall back. But if you raise your own inner level, your circumstances will naturally rise to meet you. That is why Alan said, men do not attract what they want, but what they are. You do not get what you wish for, you get what you are. And what you are is the sum total of what you have been thinking for years. Change what you think, and slowly but completely what you are will change. And what you are will change what you experience. Chapter 3, Thought and Character. Alan dedicated a large section of the book to character. He believed character was the most important thing a human being could develop. And he said character was the direct product of habitual thought. Your character is not what you say, it's not what you wish you were, it's what you have practiced thinking for years. A person who thinks kind thoughts over and over becomes genuinely kind. Not because they are trying to be, because the thoughts have shaped their nature. A person who thinks resentful thoughts over and over becomes resentful at their core, even if they hide it from others. Alan said this is why character cannot be faked. You can pretend for a while, but over time, your thoughts will leak out through your words, your reactions, your decisions, your face, your body. Your character is always visible if you look closely enough. And here's the power of this idea. You cannot change your character by trying to act differently on the surface. You can only change your character by changing the underlying thoughts. Alan said, the strong, calm man is always loved and revered. He is like a shade giving tree in a thirsty land. People want to be around him, not because he is performing calmness, because his calm is real. And his calm is real because his thoughts have been calm for years. How do you become such a person? You start by noticing what you think about when no one is watching. You notice the silent stories you tell yourself about life, about other people, about yourself. You notice the complaints, the comparisons, the judgments, the fears, and you begin gently to replace them, not by forcing positive thoughts, by choosing different thoughts again and again, every day, for years. Alan warned that this is slow work, but he also said it is the only work that matters because who you are in your thoughts is who you will eventually become. Chapter 4, The Thought Factor in Achievement. James Allen was clear about something most success books avoid. He said you cannot achieve anything beyond the level of your own thoughts. You may aim high, you may work hard, but if your inner thoughts are full of doubt, limitation, and self distrust, you will unconsciously sabotage every opportunity. He said a man cannot rise, conquer, and achieve without sacrificing his confused animal thoughts. Meaning, before you can succeed outwardly, you have to clean up your inner world. He gives a specific framework. The man who achieves greatly has first achieved greatly in his own mind. He has seen himself as successful, capable, worthy of success long before any outer success arrived. This is not visualization in the modern New Age sense, it is something deeper. It is the daily practice of thinking from the perspective of the person you want to become. Not pretending, not faking, actually taking on the mental posture of that person, walking through your day with their thoughts, making decisions with their mindset, responding to challenges the way they would respond. Over time, the gap between who you are and who you want to be begins to close, not because of luck, but because your thoughts have been shaping you into that person every single day. Alan also warned about the opposite. He said, anxious thoughts make anxious lives. Bitter thoughts make bitter lives. Weak thoughts make weak lives. He said we must take responsibility for our mental diet the way we take responsibility for our physical diet. Feeding your mind on constant fear, outrage, or envy is like eating junk food every day. You cannot expect your life to thrive. The highest achievement, Alan said, is not external, it is the inner calm, focus, and clarity of a person whose thoughts are finally under their own command. Chapter 5, Serenity, the Crown of Thought. The last chapter of the book is the one Alan considered most important. He called it Serenity. He said that the highest goal of all inner work is not success, not wealth, not fame, not even achievement. It is serenity, a quiet, unshakable calm at the center of your being that no outer event can destroy. Alan wrote, calmness of mind is one of the beautiful jewels of wisdom. It is the result of long and patient effort in self control. He said, serenity comes not from life being easy. It comes from learning to think in a new way, regardless of what life throws at you. A serene person has mastered their thoughts to such a degree that insults, losses, fears, and setbacks pass through them like wind through a tree. The tree bends, but it does not break, and then it returns to its upright, peaceful form. Alan said this is not a personality trait. It is the reward of thinking correctly for years. It cannot be faked, it cannot be rushed, it can only be earned through daily practice. Why did Alan consider serenity higher than success? Because serenity is what makes success meaningful. A successful person with a chaotic mind is not free. A serene person, even with modest circumstances, is one of the freest people alive. They are no longer ruled by their moods, no longer tossed around by other people's opinions, no longer shaken by bad news. They walk through life with a quiet center that keeps them steady when the world is loud. Alan closes with a challenge to the reader. He says, dream lofty dreams, and as you dream, so shall you become. Your vision is the promise of what you shall one day be. Your ideal is the prophecy of what you shall at last unveil. Those words have been quoted in countless books since 1903. And they still mean exactly the same thing today. You become what you think about. Choose your thoughts like you are choosing your life. So here is the full picture of As a Man Thinketh. You are the gardener of your own mind. Every thought is a seed. Your circumstances are a harvest of what you have been planting for years. Your character is built by your habitual thoughts. Your achievements can rise no higher than your inner beliefs. And the ultimate goal is serenity, the unshakable calm of someone who has mastered their thoughts. James Allen wrote this book in 1903 from a tiny cottage in the English countryside. He died young. He never became famous in his lifetime. And yet, his 20-page book is still selling today, over 120 years later, because the truth he identified is not new and not going anywhere. You become what you think about most. If your life is not where you want it, look at your thoughts, not your circumstances, not your luck, not other people. Look at the quiet, repetitive thoughts you have been feeding for years, and then slowly, gently begin to plant new seeds. Follow Bliss Minds for more book summaries that change how you think. One quick thing before you go, if this summary helped you, I have a beautiful PDF version with all the key insights from this book. To get it completely free, comment the word summary below this video. Then send a quick email to blissmindslife@gmail.com with the name of the book you want. We'll send you the PDF within 24 hours. No catch, no newsletter spam, just the value. Now go apply what you learned